wonder, where does our fuel come from? That is petrol, diesel and kerosene. Nagaland has also been known to consume a lot of fuel when it comes to MS, which is petrol, HSD, diesel, SKO, that is kerosene. Now, we spoke to Nagaland News Network, spoke to Howato Sema, the DGM of Dimapur Depot IOCL, as well as Kiran Kumar, the divisional retail head from Tinsukia, and he is handling Nagaland, Arunachal, as well as parts of Assam, based in Tinsukia. And then he told Nagaland News Network that best part about having a petrol pump that is under IOCL is that customers can check the quantity and quality of the fuel. Now, every customer has every right to check the quantity and quality of the fuel in any petrol pump under the IOC. He has informed that it is for free as well. And then the DGM of the Dimapur Depot informed that there are 108 petrol pumps in Nagaland, and 21 is from Dimapur. Now, out of this 21, now he has also informed, the divisional retail head has also informed that 79 locations has been identified to make more petrol pumps across the state. It was also informed that as much as 400 to 500 kiloliters a day is sent out from the Dimapur depot across the state. Let's have a look at the report. So, sirs, how much petrol and diesel comes for consumption in Nagaland?
Our Indian Oil Dimapur depot is presently supplying the entire petroleum oil to in the state of Nagaland, including the army, paramilitary force, BRO, and other construction party. So the average monthly requirement in the state of Nagaland, the petrol MS is around 4,000 KL, diesel HSD it is around 8,000 KL, and kerosene SKO it is around 100 KL per month.
When you say 4,000, what is this MS, what is this HSD, and what is this SKL? Can you just elaborate a bit so that our viewers can also understand what these are exactly?
MS is motor spirit, and it is called petrol. HSD is a high speed diesel, which is normally called as diesel, and SKO superior kerosene oil, it is a kerosene, so it's a abbreviation only.
So, can you tell us, Sir Kiran, that why is there more consumption of diesel than petrol over here? In what aspects is this diesel being used?
See, petrol is used for solely for transportation, primarily your bikes and cars. Whereas the application of diesel is much higher. Diesel is a primary transportation fuel which is used in heavy commercial vehicles and also earth moving equipments where the projects are on. So for that applications, and also in DG sets for power generation. So that way the applications and utility of diesel are more. So accordingly the volumes also higher than petrol. Kerosene is used primarily as a as a domestic applications. PDS, that is a public distribution system where it is the poverty, below poverty level in the rural areas. Primarily it is for the application use as a cooking fuel basically, and in domestic purposes. Kiloliters, KL stands for kiloliters, means 1,000 liters. So 4,000 into 1,000, that is the total in liters.
Alright, so this amount is being utilized all over Nagaland.
Yes,
This and how, what's the time limit? Every month?
month. This is what the number said is average, a monthly average
And so, how
on an
much is
average.
Dimapur using out of this 4,000 KL?
See,
Approximately.
Dimapur, the urban locations in Nagaland primarily Dimapur, Kohima, Makokchung, these are the places. So the urban areas contribute to more than 60% of the volume of the total volume.
And how many petrol pumps under the IOC is in Nagaland?
As on date, Indian Oil has retail outlets in Nagaland state 108
Okay.
in total across all districts of Nagaland.
All districts of Nagaland. And how many in Dimapur?
Dimapur in and around surroundings around 21 outlets are there.
And so how does is this distributed to Dimapur petrol pumps? Can you tell us the process from starting? Where is it coming from? How do you know the purity of the petrol or the diesel
Okay.
or the fuel? How do you know the purity, the check, and then
Okay.
how does it reach the petrol pump? Can you just give us the whole process of
See,
that?
the fuel is, as you are aware, primarily it is produced or manufactured in the refinery. We have refinery locations in Guwahati, Bongaigaon, and what one more, Digboy. Okay, so then from there, through various transportation modes, it will reach in further supply of distribution in Nagaland state. It will come to Dimapur depot. That is this location. So we receive from the railway wagons and also by road transport also TTs, it depending upon the requirement and need and quantity. So once the fuel is received in Dimapur depot, it is stored here, and whatever the receipt product is undergoes the necessary quality checks in the location, that is in Dimapur itself, in this depot. And from here, through individual tank trucks of various capacity, some will have 9,000 liter carrying capacity, some will have 12,000 liter capacity, depending upon the route it is traveling, the road bearable capacity. Then we will send to individual retail outlets after loading tank trucks from here to the retail outlets.
Then, so these does it depend on the location of a petrol pump, also the consumption?
Yes, certainly. Because if a location, a retail outlet is located in a Dimapur on the highway, then the potential or the requirement is more because it also caters to the public in the vicinity and also the transit traffic. Okay, goods carrier, okay, commercial vehicles moving on the road, they would not be needing the fuel. But whereas if you look at any interior location where it is only catering to the public who are living there, then that has a limited scope of business. So that way each retail outlet has, based on the location, they have different, I mean, amount of demands for the fuel.
So what are and coming back to purity, how do you check that it is of good quality if it's coming
See,
from outside?
yeah, now, like I said, once the product is received from refinery locations to this location, then the depot has its own process of quality checks. They will check the product because primarily the density is the one which is checked for the fuels, and then they have a monthly quality checks. They will take the fuel samples and send to the laboratory and get the checks done. I mean, that is primarily at the depot level. From here, when we send the tank truck to the retail outlet, before unloading into underground tank, so whatever the product they received, every dealer is supposed to check the quality of the product received through the tank truck. So whatever product in the tanker, then they will check the density. So the density has to match with the density which is supplied from this location. The density variation has to be within the permissible range. There is a range that whatever the density, while issuing a invoice, the challan to the for particular quantity of fuel, the supply location will mention density value of a product. So that once the unload, before unloading at the at the retail outlet, the dealer also will check the density of the product and they will refer to the challan value and they will match. If it is in the range, if it is beyond any range and not permissible, they will not unload. So after checking that, they will unload. Then in addition that, every retail outlet now customers also can check the fuel quality and quantity.
How do they do that?
Huh. In retail outlet, there is a provision to check, conduct a quality checks Okay, so that is the one is for petrol. There are two checks. One is they can check the density of the petrol using the density apparatus available in the retail outlet, and second test is the filter paper test we call. There is a filter paper available in the retail outlet. Customer can ask and they can put a drop of fuel on the filter paper and they can see. So if the product is pure, then it will not leave any stains on that paper. If there is any impurity in the product, then that will leave the stains on the paper. Okay. So the density and filter paper test, two tests are available for free of cost for all customers. They can check it across. In case of diesel, customer can check the density similarly using the apparatus available in the retail outlets. So these are the quality checks available that can be demanded by any customer at any retail outlets
Across the country, Nagaland.
everywhere. That is
Okay.
the standard norm for the industry.
Okay. Like that is, we don't know any of these things, and then I don't think public is aware that they have the right to do that
Yeah, we
also.
conduct this quality check camps and all. We also display the messages on the retail outlet of availability of these checks. Okay, but like you said, through this medium, we would like to create more awareness about it.
So, what are the challenges faced in Nagaland in bringing fuel, in bringing petrol from outside the state, transportation, apart from transportation, and road connectivity and all that? What are the other challenges faced? And Dimapur being the commercial hub, sir, would you like to comment on that?
Railway पर आहे तो
Mm.
comes from railway.
Any challenges faced, be it railway or road or?
See, but look, from up to the depot, then means sir would be able to tell up to this location. But from here to retail outlets sending, it is only the like you said, you have already covered. It is the infrastructure. If the better road conditions are there, then the fuel can reach more safely and more in time quickly also. Okay. Other than that, there are no other major issues as such.
Okay. What about when there's a bun?
Band is a situation, it's an
Assam,
exigent.
Nagaland border bun.
Yeah, it's an exigency that is unpredictable and it can happen anywhere. So we cannot attribute it to any particular place because those can happen. I mean, likely to happen anywhere. Anywhere.
Okay. And when it comes to petrol uh, or hampering of, what do you call the meters
Mm.
in the petrol pumps, how is the company tackling it? How's the corporation tackling this issue? Because
So,
the main office will not have any idea that it is happening also.
sorry. See, that is a concern that every customer has, I mean, nowadays. I mean, so as a company, also we have taken measures to reinforce faith in the customers by way of upgrading the machines. That nowadays, whatever the equipment, the dispensing units, which we call, are all electronic dispensing units. Number one, they are not of any mechanical units that anybody can fiddle with it because the moment any damage to any part being electronic, then the whole DU comes to a stall. So that is why the tampering of the DUs is very unlikely. And number two, there is every retail outlet is now automated. That there is an automation system that is connected with our central servers. So a retail outlet fueling pattern can be monitored by us sitting it remotely. It's not that we do not see, we can as well see. And in case of any sort of abnormal activity, fueling activity, then the system will generate alarms to us. Okay. Even for example, if the price to be updated because the price getting changed sometimes, every day now price changes. Even the rate, if it is not changed in time, then we get an alarm about it. Okay. So we are using the technology to reinforce the faith of customers and the that there is no kind of any kind of malpractices in terms of quality related issues, quantity related issues are there. Okay, so it is not just us but on an industry basis now these issues are now are, I mean, possibility is very remote for it.
So you said earlier that there are 21
Correct.
stations, petrol pumps in Dimapur, and then any more likely to come up, and or all over Nagaland? How many more is there likely to come up? 108 in Nagaland, 21 in Dimapur.
Correct.
So can you just
Yeah,
tell
that is a
about?
good question, and I mean, I'm more, happy to answer that because now fuel station makes like it's available of essential commodity to all people, and that is the energy consumption also defines the living standard of the place. And due to various issues now, like I said, out of 108, 21 are concentrated in Dimapur, these urban areas. So mostly these are here. Now, on June 28th June this year, we have come up with an advertisement for appointment of new dealerships in the state of Nagaland. And across Nagaland, we have advertised 79 locations for award of retail outlet dealerships. So the advertisement can be accessed by people. It is a very simple and transparent online process. So there is a portal, official portal for it. It is www.petrolpumpdealerchayan.in. So I repeat the spell that www.petrolpumpchayan.in. So this is the authentic, authorized official portal where interested and eligible applicants can go and check the details of the location, and they can also apply from there itself. So based on the applications received, there is a transparent online selection process. Out of that, it would be the successful applicant will be informed, and further process will be done. So through this medium, I encourage the all Nagaland society to check the advertisement and then apply for the dealerships and grab this opportunity of an entrepreneurship.
Uh, do you check the criterias of the person who's going to open? Because if you don't check background checks, what is the criteria needed?
There is no background check, but the eligibility criteria is simple. The requirement for application is the person has to be first an Indian citizen, an Indian resident, and he or she has to be between the age of 21 to 60 years of age. And in terms of education, then he or she has to be a matriculate. That is minimum 10th pass. It can be more, there's no issue, but minimum qualification is 10th pass. Then third is different depending upon the criteria category. There is, weightage and reservation is also there. For SC, ST, there is a weightage and accordingly reservation is there. So these no people of applicants of this category will have the benefit of not paying the necessary license fee, and company will install the facilities at the cost of the company, okay, for the applicants belonging to these caste and at the locations reserved for these communities. And more important criteria is to have the land either by own or by way of lease at the advertised location. And so if it is a lease, it should be for a minimum period of 19 years 11 months, that is about 20 years period. Okay, otherwise if they are owning a land, then with these documents any applicant will be able to apply. So these are the basic criteria.
Okay. Sir, this question is for you. How big is this depot in Dimapur? I should say size, and how many tankers are coming in and going out? Let's say in a month or in a week or in a day also. So can you just elaborate a bit on how big this place is and how many tankers come in and go out?
Our Indian Oil Dimapur depot is having around 9.4 acre land, which is excluding the railway siding, railway lane. And we have a stock storage capacity of petrol MS around 1500 KL
Okay.
storage tank, and HSD diesel 6200 KL and kerosene SKO around 3000 KL storage facility.
Okay.
So with this, we are supplying the entire Nagaland,
Okay, so
and around on average 35 to 45 tanker it is filled and dispatched from Dimapur to various petrol pump and other consumer location
in
in a
around the
day,
state.
entire state
Okay, in a day.
in a day.
Okay. How big is a tanker? How much can it hold?
Tanker
One tanker.
tanker we have depending on the road condition, like in remote district, due to bad road condition, we are sending 9 KL kiloliter tanker capacity, and in urban area like Kohima, Waka, Dimapur, we are sending 12 KL and 14 KL.
Okay, depending on the terrain of the place.
Yes.
Uh, is I didn't see much challenges that the IOC is facing now in Nagaland, or you're also, but would you say is there outside force that is a challenge as well? Let's say maybe taxation. Does IOC also face that in Dimapur?
Till now, this type of problem
It's
is
not.
not arise.
Okay.
Maybe in other business,
Or petrol pumps.
petrol pump,
Yeah.
the owner of the tanker.
Yes.
But as far as IOC is
Yours
concerned,
directly. It's
we don't,
not.
yeah, directly no.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Would you like to add anything else?
Uh, our Dimapur depot is commissioned in 1987, very old depot. So, and depot location, it should be near railway track and near the national highway. So the expansion of depot, it is not possible in other uh, site. So our management is planning to uh, modify, I mean modernize this existing depot. So we are hopefully and expecting the this revamping proposal very soon.
Okay. The Dimapur depot, which is the only depot for Nagaland,
Only
right?
depot in the state of Nagaland.
Is if you want to modernize it, there's so much of issue with land encroachment towards the railway side. Is there any problem with IOC, the Dimapur depot as well?
No, no,
Any
Dimapur.
encroachment issue?
We have already boundary wall, 3 meter boundary wall along the periphery, entire periphery. So there is no problem of encroachment of our land.
Okay. Anything else would you like to add?
Okay, Suresh. Uh, okay, I would like to little bit add on the petrol diesel, further to petrol diesel. Now, would like to create an awareness through this media that IOCL has developed a fuel, new age fuels, premium fuels. Normally, no, it strikes to us only we call petrol and diesel, but the technology, in the engines has developed and grown a lot, and today, from BS6 is the age of engines, and from the technology of the engines also, all vehicles have become now turbo technology, which generate higher power, okay, have a better technical specifications and more refinement. So these kind of engines require a better fuel than normal fuel. So with that, no, in mind, Indian Oil introduced premium fuels for petrol and diesel. So in case of petrol, the premium fuel is named as XP95, extra premium 95. and in case of diesel, it is named as extra green. Okay. So XP95 is different from, how is it different from the normal petrol is, normal petrol will have an octane number of 91, where in XP95 it has a 95 octane number. So what does it do? It gives the more punch to the engine, the more power to the engine, and also it will no reduce the exhaust of damaging exhausting gases which are harmful to the environment. So if customers, if you use an XP95, it will reduce the emissions. So what is the meaning? Inside the fuel combustion is better than the normal fuel, so that the residues in the engines also are less. That will lead to a better mileage and also reduction in engine maintenance cost. Okay, so this is an environmental friendly and as well economical to the customers and also good for the vehicles, which is the also recommended by the vehicle manufacturers recently, that this 95 octane fuel is preferred for BS6 engines. Similarly, extra green, same properties what is in petrol, and similarly it will also environmental friendly. It will reduce the exhaust emissions or harmful gases and also improves the mileage. So they reduce about 4% to 4 to 6% of improvement in the mileage also it is there. So this is also experienced by particularly the taxi vehicles here in a hilly terrain in Arunachal and Nagaland, no, which are carrying, because those vehicles need more power and they got a better experience with this fuel. So we have testimony of those people also. So I encourage people to patronize the premium fuels introduced by Indian Oil. Premium fuels.
In connection with this, you're introducing now so many things that will help the environment, help the customers, good for the vehicles.
Yes.
But now we are also facing a thing of where we are getting electronic vehicles now, electronic EVs. So now, do you think that will be a threat for a company like IOC also in future, perhaps?
See, EVs are never. I mean, any. See, EV or petrol, diesel or whatever is a form of energy. See, Indian Oil is not just a petrol diesel company. It's a company. It's an energy company. It's an energy company. The EV is a different form of energy. So, energy basket, the requirement, keeps growing every year. So there is a space for every for kind of fuel. So there will be vehicles of petrol, there will be vehicles of diesel, there will be vehicles of CNG, there will be vehicles of LNG, there will be vehicles of EV, and there is a research going on. Hydrogen as a fuel, hydrogen battery cell technology is underway. So we do not see as a threat, but we would look at it as an opportunity because we have a retail outlet, and we would add another fueling facility there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are now marketing and distribution of energy. We are not just restricted to petrol and diesel. So any technology is an opportunity for us in the energy sector.
Uh, we have there's a big battle of oil exploration in the state of Nagaland. Do you think we can sustain ourselves in terms of fuel, um, getting it in why instead of getting it from most of it from outside the state?
The,
Maybe some amount from our
the
state for sustainability.
for manufacturing of petroleum product, it is not easy task. Refinery, for sustaining the refinery, one refinery operation, it require a considerable amount of crude input. The crude which is available in Nagaland, in various part of Nagaland, it has to be explored, forecast, and if the adequate capacity availability of crude in Nagaland, then the manufacturing is also possible. Otherwise, it will not be viable for uh, constructing a new refinery where crude supply is less, input is less, availability is less. So it depend. It depend. And manufacturing process is very complex, and it is a very, huge infrastructural requirement investment. So It has to be studied properly. Thank you very much.